guys, it's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Just kidding, it's Marie Tagbo, and welcome to my acting and monologue channel. Today's video is some acting 101, and we are going to be discussing agents versus managers and what an agent does and what a manager does. So if that interests you, please stay on to watch. First things first, let's start with agencies. Agencies are licensed by the state to represent actors and to be an employment agency. There are tons of different kinds of agencies. There's talent agencies, which are for actors, and talent agencies can represent all sorts of people. They can represent clowns, commercial actors, they can represent dancers, they can represent hip-hop artists, they can represent singers. If you are an actor, what you will be interested in is getting an agency that represents theatrical actors or commercial actors. Some agencies do represent both. Theatrical means films, short films, TV, webisodes, that kind of stuff, while commercials is specifically commercial. Basically, agencies have contacts with casting directors, and they use their contacts to try to get their actors auditions. If the actor does get the job, then the agency will take 10 to 20%, typically 10% of all the money that an actor makes. Agencies can represent from 30 to 300 clients, which means they don't have a lot of time for personal one-on-one with the actors. Depending on how good your agency might be, the casting directors will even submit their breakdown to them first and then submit it to the public. Agents are also very good because they tend to see 70% of all the auditions that come out, while the public might just only see 30%. So the auditions that you see come out on Actors Access aren't all the auditions, but most of the auditions go first to agencies. Casting directors contact the agencies first because they will have the more professional, more experienced actors. But just because you have an agent doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have more auditions. An agent takes 10% of your money, which means you have to do the rest of the 90% of work. Even if you get an agent, you'll still have to go and get yourself your own auditions. Be careful, because agencies should never make you pay for headshots or acting classes or pay for representation. If they do ask you to do that, please do not sign with them. Agents also help negotiate your contracts for a paying job, and they help you bargain for more money. Having an agent isn't always required, but it does help in getting auditions. But first, I do highly recommend getting your own auditions before you move on to getting an agent. Managers are very different, but also kind of similar to agents. Managers tend to have fewer clients, which means more one-on-one time with the clients, because that's what their job is. Their job is to give you counsel and advice and career guidance. They're the ones that you go to when you need to help choose your headshots. They're the ones to go to for recommendations, and they also help publicize you, and they also help to get your name out there. They're the ones who go and talk to casting directors and tell them about how wonderful this child that they have on their roster. They get the same breakdowns that agents do, but they might not have the same strong contacts with the casting directors. They are more for the long term, and they help manage your career in the long run. They can take from 15 to 20% of your commission. They can help you if you're going to go make a potential agent, or if you're going to go into an audition. Some of them also help coach, and they also help teach actors. The only thing is that they're not licensed by SAG-AFTRA or by the state, which is why you should always have an attorney with you if you're signing a manager's contract, because signing with a manager might be even more risky than signing with an agent. A manager is supposed to be your contact, your go-to person for questions, for advice, for tips. They are supposed to know a lot about the industry, and they can help you. Having both can be expensive because it means 25 to 30% of your paycheck is given to another person. But it also can be very helpful in getting yourself more auditions and getting out there. If you're living in a smaller state, if you don't live in LA, it really may not be necessary. You might just need a manager, or you might just need an agent. Sometimes where you live, there might not be a large selection of agents and managers to choose from. That doesn't mean just go with the first person that you meet. If you're going to meet with a manager or an agent, make sure you've researched them and you know a lot about them, and you know what they do and who they represent and what kind of results that their actors get. If something seems phony about them, then something probably is phony about them. You really have to be careful, because you're putting a small part of your career and your future into these people's hands. Below, I have more links on agents versus managers, so you guys should definitely go read those out. Read up as much as you can about agents and managers, so that way when you have to meet with them, you'll be fully prepared. If you guys have any questions, or you would like to request my next video, leave it down below. I want to hear from you guys. I want to see your comments. I want to see what you guys have to say. I hope you guys also like my new background. I love it so much. I love the color. I think it's way more interesting than white. Now I'm gonna leave because there are so many ladybugs in here. But I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up and a share. And I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!